The Charleston Literary Festival is a world-class literary festival with an international edge right here in the heart of Charleston. Today, I talk one-on-one with the executive director of the festival, Sarah Moriarty, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, sponsored by the Charleston County School District. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Sarah Moriarty, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups for this interview, sponsored by the Charleston County School District.
Thank you, Quintin. I'm so happy to be back on the show. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Needless to say, you're very known around here in the Low Country because you're the executive director of the Charleston Literary Festival, which is a world-class literary festival with an intentional international edge based here in Charleston, South Carolina. Of course, you provide a form of experiencing the transformative power of books, conversations, and big ideas. So, what's new, what's now with the Charleston Literary Festival?
Yeah, thanks so much, Quintin. So right now, we're getting ready for our big 2025 season. So it's going to kick off on November 7th and run for 10 full days from November 7th through November 16 at Dock Street Theatre. And all of our events are right there in Dock Street Theatre. So, it's easy to find us. You know where we are. We're there for 10 days, November 7th through 16. And right now, we're just in that final leg where we're sort of organizing everything, making sure, crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, all the rest of it.
Oh, so with that particular planning going on right now, Sarah, what exactly is that process from your perspective as executive director?
Yeah, so it's very exciting because in September, at the beginning of September, we always launch our program. So once the program is out and live, it's very exciting because then we just get to kind of promote it and draw attention to it all over the city. So this year, we have our biggest, most ambitious festival ever. We've got over 50 events over the 10 days, as I mentioned. We've got 100 plus authors and speakers coming to join us. We've got more community partnerships than ever before. And so as we sort of head into the festival now, we're just making sure that everything's ready to go. And we have some really, really exciting events in store.
Oh, man. With those 50 events that are coming up, which one of those particular events, Sarah, do you believe will describe the Charleston Literary Festival the best?
Oh, that's such an interesting question. I think when it comes to, that's really interesting. So for us, when we think about programming, it's really important that we have we bring world-class writers to Charleston, but then plug them into the city itself and create this sort of sense of place in Charleston. And it's sort of that in exchange between the richness of the Low Country and the sort of writers from all over the country and also international writers that we bring here. That kind of exchange and interplay is really important. There are a couple of events this year that stand out. One will be the very first day of the festival. We're welcoming Kevin Sack, who is based in Charleston, former New York Times journalist. He wrote a book called Mother Emanuel, which is about the 200-year history of the Mother Emanuel Church right here in Charleston. And obviously this is the 10-year anniversary of the tragedy, but also the incredible resilience shown by the Mother Emanuel congregation community. And so we're having an event with Kevin Sack, who will talk about his book, Mother Emanuel, with Eddie Glaude Jr., so Professor Eddie S. Glaude Jr., Professor of African American Studies at Princeton University, also a very important public intellectual. You see him on Morning Joe, you see him on these other shows, sort of a very important voice. And they will be in conversation in the Mother Emanuel Church itself on November 7th. And then their program will be followed by a choral performance from the Mother Emanuel Choir. So that's a very interesting one because it's deeply rooted to Charleston and to Charleston's sort of history, stories, and also Charleston's future. And it also has huge national significance. And so Eddie Glaude Jr., Professor Glaude, in conversation with Kevin Sack, that will be a really extraordinary sort of start to the program this year. And then we have lots and lots of other things, but I think that's one that sort of stands out when we think about sort of international acclaim, national acclaim meets local significance.
What is the local significance about literacy from your perspective?
Yeah, I think there's a huge emphasis on increasing literacy in the Low Country. The Barbara Bush Foundation actually has a program here called all in, where they're focusing on adult literacy, and we work with them, we're connected to them to help support the promotion of adult literacy in the community. And what we do is actually recreational literacy. I learned that term, which is that, and it's a very kind of dry term for something
Yes.
that's very fun. So
Right.
recreational literacy is basically, if you love a book, if you like to read, if you enjoy reading, if you find a story that resonates with you, you can come together with other people that feel the same way. And so that this idea that when we read books, they open doors to new perspectives and new ideas, but also we see ourselves reflected in books, we see each other reflected in books and stories. It's very basic, it's very primal, the idea of storytelling and the idea of reading and sharing stories. And so essentially at the Literary Festival, we talk about embracing the conversation, but also just really being connected to each other. So building community and finding that connection through books and sharing books, which is very the cut and dry way of saying that is recreational literacy.
Right.
But really, it's much more. But it's very fun.
Oh, absolutely. And Sarah, I know you're kind of busy, so I got to let you go. But what new perspectives have actually enlightened the Charleston Literary Festival over the past couple of years?
Um, I think we definitely have an international edge to the festival, and that's not necessarily new. I mean, Charleston is a port city. It's a city where there have always been all different kinds of cultures and people intermingling. So that's not new to Charleston, but I think we reflect that in Charleston. So these different kinds of perspectives constantly mingling together and in conversation. And that's very important to Charleston and sort of to the fabric of the festival and also the fabric of the city.
Wow. What is that conversation about literacy and Charleston these days?
I think Charleston is really booming right now from a literary perspective. If you think about it, we have two incredible world-class literary festivals. We have Charleston Literary Festival, and we also have Y'all Fest, which is a YA or a young adult literary festival. So the fact that we have these two kind of extraordinary literary festivals, both happening in fall, in the autumn, is amazing. We also have lots and lots of bookstores popping up all over the city, which is very exciting. In the past 2 years, we've seen all new bookstores popping up along King Street. So you've got Books and Books, you've got Blue Bicycle Books. You also have Sweeter Than Fiction, the Romance Bookstore, Philosophers and Fools, the
Right.
Bookstore Wine Bar, the Archive in Mount Pleasant, the Village Bookseller, Ladybird Books is a new bookstore opening. And I think that sort of boom in the bookstore industry is really exciting for the city.
Oh, that is really, really amazing. So if anybody hasn't gotten their tickets yet, how do they go about that?
So visit charlestonliteraryfestival.com and you can find all of the links to all of the tickets on the website. So charlestonliteraryfestival.com, and things are selling out, so you have to go quickly.
Go quickly. That's right.
I'm obliged to say that, but it is true,
It
Quintin.
is, yes, absolutely. It's a very popular festival, and people respect and love it around here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I wanted to ask you this earlier because you touched on it so much, but storytelling. What is the art of storytelling these days, Sarah?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and I'm not sure if I have a fully comprehensive answer, but I think one of the things we're trying to do at the festival this year is introduce different ways to think about storytelling. So we're working with a group called Narrative 4. It's a non-profit that was founded by Irish writer Colin McCann, and Narrative 4 harnesses the power of storytelling to deepen empathy and encourage people to take action on causes and things that are important to them. And the way it works is they pair people off. And then you tell someone your story. So you're in a pair, you tell someone your story, and you listen to their story. Then you go back to a bigger group, and your job is to tell the other person's story. So if it was me, I would say, "Hello, my name is Quintin. I blah, blah," and I have to tell your story from your perspective, but I have to do it. And I think it's a really fascinating exploration of storytelling because it's all about listening, obviously, but it's also all about empathy and deepening empathy. And like, how do we truly understand each other? We learn how to listen to each other, and we learn how to sort of walk in each other's shoes. And so we're definitely doing a lot of sort of experimentation and play and discovery around the concept of storytelling at the festival, because it can be really, really, it's really important.
Oh, absolutely. What else are you discovering in light of storytelling and obviously these conversations that you just mentioned?
I think in general, at the festival, the festival is all about discovery and exploration. You know, people say oftentimes like, "What should we see? What should we go? What do you recommend? What would be great?" And I'm sort of like, go to something that that you recognize,
Sure.
and then go to something that you've never heard of ever before, and because it's all about discovering new ideas, new authors, and through that sort of discovery, then you can be pleasantly surprised. And that's what the festival is all about. It's about the exploration, and it's about the conversation, it's about coming together. And so there's really a lot to sort of discover and explore, which is really, really fun. And so, I mean, we have a French writer coming with Villa Albertine in New York, the French embassy. We're working with them to bring a French writer. um, she'll launch her book at the Literary Festival, which is so exciting. We're working with the 92nd Street Y for a fiction panel on the concept of honor. So how do you develop a code of honor in your day-to-day life? What does that look like these days? And Elliot Ackerman, a Marine, an incredible fiction writer, he will speak on honor, and so will Roxana Robinson, another wonderful fiction writer. So there are lots of things to discover, from sort of non-fiction to fiction, but also general themes that come through different panels and different talks. So there's really an awful lot to sort of dive into.
Oh, absolutely. What other conversations do you want to hear next when it comes to the Charleston Literary Festival?
I think when it comes to the festival, we're constantly in conversation with all of our partners that we have. So we work a lot with the Charleston County School District for our Young Writers Awards. It's a very exciting sort of moment there, encouraging teenagers, essentially 15-year-old through, so ninth grade through 12th grade. So that's a great sort of partner, and hearing those youth voices in the festival. So the winners of the Young Writers Awards that we roll out, it's actually to the Tri-County area. We invite them to read their work on stage, to open up for a writer. So having those youth voices involved in the conversation is really exciting. Also, our Cato Fellowship, where we give a fellowship prize to two emerging writers from the Carolinas. Having these emerging writers, that reflect the richness and the depth of the Carolinas and the literary talent in the Carolinas involved in the conversation is incredibly important to us and incredibly enriching. And then, we also just have a lot of student field trips coming this year. Student field trips from high schools, but also from different universities. The Savannah College of Art and Design come, Claflin University come,
Yes.
Allen University come,
Yes.
the College of Charleston
Sure.
comes. And so having those student voices involved on many levels is really important and really exciting for us.
You obviously you have nonfiction and fiction and autobiographies and all of those other, genres, for lack of a better word. What are those other genres that you want to bring next to the festival?
Yeah, that's a great question. What are they? So last year, for the first time ever, we introduced theater to the literary festival. So that was it was a big foray into theater. So theater as a sort of literary art, and then bring that to life in the festival. We had 2 theater plays last year, and one of them was actually a world premiere theater piece that we produced with Patrick Bringley and Dominic Dromgoole, and that ended up going off Broadway, which was very exciting. And so this year we're doing more theatre again. We're going to have Adam Gopnik, who will come and perform his one-man show on the second weekend of the festival, the New Yorker writer. And also we're bringing an Irish theatre company called Branner Theatre Company, and they will perform a children's play. Actually, it's James Joyce's Ulysses in 40 minutes for children. So it's going to be a really fun, exciting sort of take on the literary canon, but also just, again, the focus on stories, the focus on opening things up, on discovery, and on play. There's a lot of play at the Literary Festival.
Oh man, that's really, really amazing. Well, Sarah Moriarty with the Charleston Literary Festival, thank you so much for your time again. Welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups for this interview, sponsored by the Charleston County School District.
Thank you so much, Quintin. Love talking to you. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.